Dana, I always appreciate you taking the time. I know you're a busy guy, got a lot going on. It's been a very crazy week. In particular, I just want to start out and get your thoughts on, what's going on with Cyborg.
First of all, I don't have this horrible relationship with Cyborg. Things were said before she came into the UFC, but I think we've covered that, and her and I have put that type of stuff behind us. But the stuff that's being said now, I was in the gym yesterday, and Outside the Lines story was absolutely ridiculous. Completely taken out of context. In context, the way that everything happened in the old days with Cyborg, this started in 2012 when she tested positive for using steroids by the California State Athletic Commission. In 2014, Cyborg did an interview with Kevin Iole where she admitted to cheating and taking steroids. So then in April of 2014, Iole then did an interview with Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey said, "I don't care if she injects horse semen into her eyeballs. I'll still fight her. I'm not speaking for the rest of the 135-pound division. I'm just speaking for myself." Then Ronda said, "That woman has taken so many drugs that she's not a woman anymore, she's an it." So then once she said that, I was doing a media scrum after a fight. Again, this is in 2014. And I was asked about Ronda's comments, about what Ronda had said about Cyborg. The media was asking me if I thought it was insensitive, and wanted me to, comment on it. And I said, listen, this is the fight business. Mean things are said. Ronda and Cyborg had been going back and forth saying a lot of things about each other. And the fact of the matter was that Cyborg did cheat, and she did take steroids. She took the same performance-enhancing drug that Ben Johnson won the Olympics with, okay? It's a very dangerous steroid that she was on. And you're talking about a time when we were trying to clean up the sport. Then the comment, they were asking me about Cyborg, and I said to the media, guys, did you see her at the MMA awards? Did you not think she was on steroids? She got up to get her award, and she walks up the stairs, and I was saying that she looked like Vanderlei Silva in a dress. What I meant was she had the same physique as Vanderlei Silva. Then 1 month later, Vanderlei Silva evades a drug test and gets a 3-year suspension from the sport. First of all, I never came out and bullied or said anything about Cyborg. I was asked a question by the media. So now for, hacks to throw up, a 15-second clip of me saying that's completely taken out of context. And we talked about this, Cyborg and I, before she came into the UFC. And let's not forget, we signed her in 2015 to a deal with Invicta, then brought her into the UFC in 2015. It's 2019. What is this narrative? Where is this coming from? It is an absolute smokescreen to not fight Amanda Nunes. So some of the problems that we faced with the whole Cyborg, what everybody's forgetting here, is when she got busted for steroids, most of these women didn't want to fight her. To the point where Germaine de Randamie, who was the 145-pound champion, basically came out with a statement saying, this is about principle. This woman doesn't represent what the sport is about. And, out of principle, I won't fight her for $1 million. So these are some of the internal things that we were facing bringing in an athlete like Cyborg.
But you did it anyway. You took a chance on her and supported her career in Invicta.
We brought her in, and we're considering a possible matchup with Ronda Rousey. We bring in whoever is perceived to be the best. And while Cyborg was here, we signed her in 2015. It's 2019. She was drug tested many, many times while she was here. So, we made sure she was a clean athlete, performing against other clean athletes so that the playing field was completely level. But even though that was the case, you still had women like Germaine that out of principle refused to fight her. What's funny is in 2017, Cyborg came out and said that Germaine was scared. that's why she wouldn't fight her. She was claiming that she was scared. Now she has all these problems with me saying, well, I don't think Cyborg wants to fight Amanda Nunes. And I don't blame her for not wanting to fight Amanda Nunes when she actually said Jermaine was scared, when Jermaine is saying, I won't fight this woman out of principle because she's a cheater and she doesn't belong here. So this whole thing was completely taken out of context. And for Cyborg to say that I'm the one that was bullying her, it's completely not true. Everything was taken out of context. And I was actually responding to reporters asking me, what did I think about what these other women were saying about Cyborg? And the way that I look at it is, my job as a promoter is to put on the best fights with the best fighters in the world for the fans and for myself and for the company. I did that. I got Amanda Nunes and Cyborg together and they fought. And we answered the question, who is the best female fighter on earth? It took 51 seconds of the first round to find out. Now, I tried to make the rematch. Cyborg can say whatever she wants. I have this all documented. We have this all documented. This is a real company, and we document everything that we have. She wanted to fight Cindy Danois or Pam Sorensen. And I told Cyborg, we don't make those fights here. That's not what we're doing. You're gonna fight Amanda Nunes. And there was a huge back and forth that went on forever. And then finally she agreed. And she ended up fighting Amanda Nunes, and we saw how that fight ended. Now, there's all this talk right now about, I'm trying to devalue her.
Saying I'm scared to fight Amanda Nunes, saying I don't want to fight her. This is liar, because I text him after the fight saying I want the rematch. And this is don't help me growing my brain. This is damage my brain. And for me keeping working for one promotion, I don't want somebody damage my brain. I want you growing together. And because this we're gonna have to take a little time and see what's gonna be better for me.
All this other bullshit that she's putting out there, again, to avoid fighting Amanda Nunes. Message received, I get it. I'm gonna release her from her contract. I will not match any offers. She is free and clear to go to Bellator or any of these other organizations and fight these easy fights that she wants. Done. Done deal. I will literally today have my lawyer draft a letter to her team that she is free and clear to go wherever she wants. We're out of the Cyborg business.
Do you feel like all of this came to a head in the last couple of days strictly because of contract and some sort of negotiation strategy on her camp's part?
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but bad strategy.
Yeah.
I don't hate Cyborg, and I'm not trying to, destroy Cyborg. All this craziness that she's talking. You know how many fighters I've dealt with over the years, people that I really didn't like Tito? Tito doesn't like me, and I don't like Tito. And we haven't, and we didn't. But we still got fights done. We still did business.
When you were talking about how you've had issues, contentious relationships, whatever you want to call it, with other fighters, I was thinking about when Amanda had to pull out last minute. And there was a moment there where she was frustrated at, some of the reaction that you had over that. And you guys went on to repair the relationship, obviously. I mean, she's someone you speak very highly of now.
Yeah, we have an incredible relationship. And these things happen, These things happen in business. People are going to pull out things, look at the Jon Jones stuff that's happened and many, many other things with different fighters. But we get through it. We figure it out. We get through it and we move on. But this is a whole different, this is a completely different animal than anything I've ever dealt with before. This is a woman that doesn't want to fight the champion, no matter what she says. And I am giving up my rights to her contract, to matching her contract, anything. I'm giving it up. There you go. You're not being bullied, nothing like that. I'm gonna let you go. If you don't want to fight Amanda and you don't want to be here that bad, then why would I want you here?
There was always this idea that the featherweight division was built around her because of her. That notion, I mean, now that we know kind of the future or lack thereof, what is the future of the division within the UFC?
I think that, what I'll do is I'll talk to the champ. Cyborg isn't the future of that division anyway.
I know you're signing featherweights. I mean, do you foresee a future where Amanda will be able to bounce back and forth between bantamweight and featherweight and defend both at the same time and be that true double champ?
If you are one of these 145-pound women out there right now, and you want to fight the best in the world, and you want to be looked at as the best, it's Amanda Nunes. So, we'll continue to look for talent like Felicia, who came in here and fought the other day, and continue to bring new challenges for Amanda Nunes and see who's next.
Obviously, Jon Jones in the news again recently. What are the chances we're going to see him fight again this year?
The odds of him fighting are very good. Obviously, I said this before when asked about this. These are the type of things that happen when you're famous.
Yeah.
And with the limited footage that I've seen, yeah, I think he's going to fight.
Who's he going to fight?
Well, let's see how the Cormier-Stipe fight goes. And I just think the Cormier fight doesn't need to happen again, but I think people want it to happen again. I want to see it again. I know they both want it. I would like to see it at heavyweight, but those two are so stubborn and set in their ways. They both wanted it 205. I don't understand, but what are you gonna do? I'll take it. I'll take it at 205 or heavyweight.
I think it's a fight that a lot of fans would want to see, regardless of the division, for sure. When we were opening the Apex earlier this summer, you spent a lot of time talking to the media about the potential for Zuffa Boxing. What can you give us in terms of an update on that?
Yeah, so I've hired a guy to come in and run the boxing side, and actually over here on the other side of my office, the construction is going on right now. We're building offices and a war room and all the things that we're going to need for this thing to start running in October. So I'm hoping to have Zuffa Boxing fully functional and running by October.
Last night after the Contender Series in the media scrum, I heard you say something about TUF coming back. I feel like everybody thought TUF was dead, TUF was gone, now that the TUF gym is no longer, but that seems to not necessarily be the case.
Yeah, so when we shut down the old TUF gym and we started building the Apex, the design and everything was planned for the Ultimate Fighter. I still believe that the Ultimate Fighter is the best, like, rookie camp type. I think that when you come off that show, it changes you in so many positive ways that literally nothing will ever be harder again in your career than what you go through on TUF. And I think that it gives such an intimate, deep look inside the characters, who they are. People come off that show loved or hated, but people care one way or another about them. I don't ever want the Ultimate Fighter to go away. I think it's too important to the sport, athletes, and to the brand.
Yeah. Well, another show that is producing some awesome up-and-coming talent, of course, is the Contender Series. Third season now. Kind of looking back, I know when you start these things, I'm sure you probably have an idea in your head of what it's going to look like. Is it living up to those expectations? I
love it. I love the Contender, and I literally could do that every Tuesday for the rest of my life. And I'm battling a little bit right now with the matchmakers for another season here to put on the level of fights with the level of talent that we have over there. The pool isn't that deep, so I'm pushing these guys really hard for another season.
Another season this calendar year?
Yeah. I want another season. And the great thing about this show is you come in on Tuesday night and you lay it all on the line. And, this thing pulls big numbers, and a lot of people get to see these fighters that they don't know. Walking into Tuesday night, they don't know these people. And You know, these guys end up getting millions of views. And even the kids that don't make it, like we had that kid who's 9-1.
Daniel Rodriguez.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A ton of people saw him fight. He's 9-1. He put on a good performance, a good showing, and he's a free agent now, you know? So win, lose, or draw coming off that show, it's huge for these up-and-coming fighters.
The exposure
Huge.
to build stars. And one thing I definitely wanted to hit on before we wrap things up is we've got a very exciting fight coming up this weekend. Colby Covington taking on Robbie Lawler. Such an interesting situation in that welterweight division. You know, what are your thoughts on the status of that division and what's going to happen after we see who wins?
Well, first of all, I love this fight. Love this fight, and much respect to both guys for taking this fight. Obviously, Colby Covington wins on Saturday. He gets the shot at Usman. And Robbie Lawler, this is a big fight for Robbie because this puts Robbie back up in the top 5. I think this fight's going to be a war. There's bad blood. Colby's been talking shit about what Robbie did to the American Top Team and how he turned his back on the American Top Team family. And this one is for the American Top Team, you know, as far as Colby is concerned. But what people need to remember about this fight is it's this Saturday night. It's live and free on ESPN, the network, not Plus. And it's early. On the West Coast, the main card starts at noon. On the East Coast, it starts at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So Lawler versus Covington live on ESPN early Saturday.
Well, Dana, I appreciate you taking some time to talk us through some things and always appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.